To buy tickets for HOCO, Freeport High School students need to be eligible, which means passing all of your classes. Here are tips and tricks for FHS students to stay eligible. First tip is to do your work.
Just stay engaged and just do your work.
Second tip is to stay engaged.
For someone to be engaged in class, they should try to sit in the front. They should be very vocal with the teacher, in a positive way, of course. Ask questions if they have any. Just stay on their work, put the phone down, leave the TikTok alone, quit Snapchatting, and just do your work. How hard is it? I'm so sick of these kids not doing their work. This is the easiest time of their life, and they wasting it by being on the phone. The phone is controlling. Make me sick.
Third tip is don't get referrals.
Well, there's a code of conduct that the school board puts together along with higher up administration, and the code outlines different infractions that would not benefit students or potentially disrupt the learning environment. So it's important that students follow that code to the best of their ability, and typically students that have 0 referrals tend to have higher grades than students with multiple referrals.
Fourth tip is catch up on missing work.
I would say that there's no easy way to catch up on missing work. It's one of those things you have to sit down and do, no matter how hard it seems it's one of those things you just have to sit down and do. Even if it seems hard or if you just want to do it, there's literally no other way around it. You have to catch up on that work at some point. So it's better to do it now before you dig too deep of a hole that you can't get out of it anymore.
Your teachers want to help you catch up.
I would always encourage students to reach out to their teacher if they're really struggling in a class. I have yet to meet a teacher who would outright refuse to help a student on something. It just takes that first step of asking for that help that you think you need. I would also make sure that you're staying current on that day's assignment in class. Do not get so bogged down on catching up on yesterday's work that you forget today's work, and you're just constantly then falling further and further behind trying to play catch up. So stay present in the moment in that class while also reaching out to your teachers to see how they can support you.
Fifth tip is come to school.
School is where you learn how to be citizens. So I always tell kids the skills that you learn here, you apply to life afterwards. So I've had a lot of kids say, like, I don't need to go to school, I don't need this, I don't need that. But you learn how to interact with people in school. You learn how to do the basic math skills that you need. You learn about politics. You learn everything that you need to actually be an adult that's productive in society.
And finally, here's a tip to motivate yourself to come to school.
That's an internal thing. I always tell people, if you need an external, I can provide that. But you've got to have the drive to want to be better, to want to be great, to want to be successful. I always tell students, every kid has a greatness in them. I want to see that greatness, and that student has to realize what that is before they can move forward. So I feel like students have to want to be the best version of themselves that they can be, so that they can keep pushing forward and getting better.